Am I live? I think I am live here. Uh, Sometimes. Anyways, good afternoon. Happy Saturday. Welcome to Alive and Streaming. I'm your host, Ted, and I'm just going to check real quick if I'm live. Looks and sounds great. All right, I got it. Let me just double check. You know me. Tech stuff is really, it gets to me sometimes. So, anyways, my guest today, underrated guitar player, very underrated. I think he's an incredible player, cool dude. He used to play in Forbidden, he used to play in Testament, he was in Tenet, and he has his own solo stuff, and we're going to be talking about that. Let's bring on Glen Alvelais. Let's see where he's at. Is he on? Is he on? Oh my God. There's Glen.
What is up?
How you doing, man?
I'm doing good, doing well. How are you doing?
I'm doing good, dude. I am doing great. It's good weather out in the Bay Area. And first and foremost, I want to thank you for jumping on my stream, bro.
Oh, thank you for having me, dude. I've been watching you for a while now.
Oh, really? I hope
Yep.
I hope it's good words. Good
It
things.
is. It
Right
is.
on, man.
It is. I like it.
Dude, first and foremost, 2 days ago we were speaking, and happy 33rd anniversary to Forbidden Evil, bro.
Wow, that's a long time.
Forbidden Evil, dude. And you know what? I'm glad you're on my stream because I do want to. I think out of the Bay Area, you're an underrated guitar player, dude. Very underrated, man.
Thank you.
You were in Forbidden Evil, then Forbidden, but you only had that short stint with that one album and toured, and man, there's a lot to be said, man, that you made a big impact, man. You know what I mean?
Well, first of all, I have to say, see the purple guitar behind me?
Yeah.
And the black and yellow?
I see it.
That's what I was playing 33 years ago.
Were you playing that on the Ultimate Revenge tour?
I was. And Craig
Wow.
broke a string on his guitar and got stuck using my black and yellow one and hated it. He absolutely
didn't look good on him, huh?
I thought, I was like, right on. I got both my guitars on a video. They just recently got overhauled. All new parts, everything on it. The purple one got a new pick guard, and I was surprised at how well they still play. New frets, everything. So
damn, look at all the nice guitars, dude.
Thank you.
Damn.
I'm
you must be making some big ass money.
That's pretty much the collection but they're my workhorses, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
If you have certain ones for certain tunings, because the whole Floyd Rose, one sounds better for rhythms, one sounds better for solos. So it's always, there's never just one perfect guitar.
No, dude. Then you got that one for, it sounds good and clean, or this one sounds good when you tune low. It's endless, bro. It's endless. Dude. And when we spoke the other day, I told you on one of my shows, I had Craig and Matt on. I did Forbidden Evil appreciation album, and I got their perspective, and I'm glad that I got you on because I love that album, dude. That album is like badass, dude.
I have not heard it in a while. Last time I heard it, I was a little bit afraid because we had to learn it, and I was like, oh, dude, so fast,
dude. But I get, growing up in that era, that album, people might say, I'm sure you probably think like, production could have been better, this and that. You could always be better, but there was a vibe on that album and all the Bay Area albums and any thrash metal album back in that day. You were just capturing that moment in time, which was awesome.
Absolutely.
But and I do want to get into your time in Forbidden first, dude. From what I know and from what I heard, you weren't into thrash metal, right? You were more of that. You were more of the shreddiness, like George Lynch, Yngwie Malmsteen, that era of music. Am I correct?
Absolutely correct. 100% correct. I think at that point, Yngwie, Warren DeMartini, Dawkins, all the shredders, Joe Satriani. But I think the heaviest thing that I was listening to was probably Metallica back then, and just getting into that when a friend of ours a mutual friend said, hey, there's a band that you should go check out. They're looking for a guitar player. But when I first jammed with them, I was like, whoa, this is challenging. This is hard. It was fast. That was brand new to me. So yeah, I was not wasn't all schooled on the thrash stuff. I was schooled on the shredder guitar thing.
But what did Forbidden Evil attract you as more the riffs, because the riffs were really complicated, like shredding?
Yeah, that's exactly what attracted me to it, was the guitar work. And back then, I think the camaraderie between the two guitar players,
Yeah.
because I would play a riff, he would play a riff, and we'd put them together, make stuff happen. The harmonies was really interesting to me. And, I had been playing with other bands, doing my own stuff like copies and cover band stuff. But the only guitar player. So that was pretty much my new experience for dual guitar players. So that was very attractive, I should say.
Well,
So,
did that, like you said, you were only guitar playing your other band, so it must have been not challenging, attractive, but also like inspiring to bounce ideas off.
absolutely. Absolutely. Absolutely.
I mean, Forbidden Evil, that album, you and Craig had some good chemistry,
Yeah,
riff wise, solos, and all that.
we
And
did.
I mean, but I wanna, dude, when you joined, how many songs? Forbidden Evil. Jesus, I'm excited today, everyone. Forbidden Even. That just
I like it. That's the first time I've heard that.
Forbidden Even. All right, Forbidden Evil. How many songs on that album was written when you joined?
Ooh, I want to say, I think they had about 5 or 6 songs. As Good as Dead, Chalice of Blood. But there's a couple other ones. When I came in, they had a demo out already that I had to learn. And I think it was like a 3 or 4 song demo, and I learned that. And then they were working on a new tune. But when I came in, I was really pushing the whole guitar thing, I wanted solos all over the place.
Damn, dude.
Yeah. So, and I'm not gonna lie, one of my favorite bands at that point in time too was Testament. And seeing Alex play for the first time, I don't know about what you remember. When I seen Alex play for the first time, I was like, that's what I want to do. Even down, remember when he used to play the White Star?
Oh yeah, I remember that.
See the guitars? I'll play the Star Buddy guitars. It's ever since then. So I kind of pushed that into it, you know what I mean? And they were, I'm not gonna say reluctant, but it was a little bit of tug and pull, for well, you already got a solo in there, you don't need 2 or 3.
You wanted to just go full blown
solo. I was having fun,
Yeah, but I think that combination is good. That push and pull, where you wanted to do this, and maybe the other guys didn't want to, not so much of that, but the common ground. You guys found the common ground for that album.
Absolutely.
I mean, like we talked the other day, and this is new to me. You wrote one of my favorite songs on that album, Through Eyes of Glass.
Ah, yes. That's funny you say. I heard that song. I remember actually where I wrote that. And I remember how long it took to come up with all the riffs for it and stuff. So
did you write it from start to finish? Now I want to talk about that song. If you guys don't know Through Eyes of Glass, it's my favorite song off the Forbidden Evil record.
Yeah.
And dude, and like I told Craig and Matt, the beginning of that, you had to fucking lifted that from fucking Van Halen's DOA. You had to, because if you wrote it, you're the shredder. You must have lived the idea, the vibe, the inspiration. So come on, man.
You would think that I did, because that I know what part you're talking about. The
yeah,
I didn't write that part. Craig wrote that part, and that's funny because I am the Van Halen buff.
Yeah.
But he actually did that part. I wrote pretty much everything else after that. The chord progression, those chords were our introduction to. It's like a 3-finger chord that we were doing. That I started doing that. I mean, I don't know, even remember where I got it from, but I was like, oh wow, that sounds pretty heavy. And we were tuned 440. So instead of playing your regular, it was just weird the way I did it. And then I started separating the notes, and that's how I really came up with the main body of that song. So just experimenting,
Did you have it written, that song, like, and you went to practice and go, I got this song, let's work on it? Or was it like piece by piece along the way?
Piece by piece. I remember bringing them a bunch of parts, and they said, well, we'll put this here. And I let it go through every, say, well, I like that part, but it's all right. I'm like, well, I have this other idea that I was, going to go with it, and play it. They're like, oh, that's pretty cool. So ended up being, I kind of had it arranged in my head, but this is before I ever had a 4-track or anything like that. I had a cassette recorder, but the way I kind of pre-wrote it and in my head was there was 2 solos. There was one towards the beginning, which was going to be a melodic solo for Craig to do, and then I was going to do the other one in the middle. And then the breakdown happened, and which the breakdown wasn't going to make it, but then if I remember right, John Cunaberti and Doug, the guy who was producing, said, well, yeah, you should keep that part. That's kind of cool.
Are you talking about the breakdown right after your main solo?
Yeah.
With the little funky, with the hi-hat and all that?
Yeah, the little, what do you call it? It's like a little scale run, down, 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 that little part. So I was just learning my scales, so trying to make sense.
Just learning your scales, dude. Why you gotta lie, dude? You listen to that album, it didn't sound like you were learning scales. It sounded like you perfected scales and then some.
I was learning. That's why it ended up in a song, because I was like, ooh, and if you harmonize that, Craig, play this part. And I think he felt the same way too. He was like, that's pretty cool. That's a lot of harmony. That's pretty cool. It was a cool thing back then.
Like I'd say, out of all the Bay Area thrash bands in the 80s, in that time, you guys were the more technical one. Like, you guys were like, you had some crazy ass riffs. And I told Craig and Matt, man, any of you guys could have, you or Craig could have just been the next guitar player in Megadeth. With the way you guys wrote your style.
Thank you.
Dude, okay, you guys did a second demo with you in it that got you signed. Now, what songs were on that second demo that got you signed to Combat?
That's a good question. I want to say March into Fire was in it. I don't even know if Eyes of Glass was on there. Chalice of Blood was probably on it. What's funny is I don't even have a copy of that, because we literally finished recording that, and if I'm not mistaken, some of the guys in the band grabbed a cassette tape of it like the day after, took it to Debbie Abono, who was just happened to be flying to New York for some big music convention. She comes back. In fact, I think she called us from New York and said, Combat wants to sign you. And we're okay. So I don't even know how the copies of that demo made it out, because I don't remember it being timed like a time of space. Like, I said, okay, we got to make 100 copies, but apparently somebody did.
Wow, dude, that's really cool. You make a demo, the next day you give it to Debbie Abono, rest in peace. She's awesome.
Yeah.
And a couple days later, hey, you guys are signed. You didn't even have time to send it to fanzines or sell it at shows and all that.
No, it was just, and I'd only been in the band, months, 8 months, 6 months, or something like that. So it just happened like so fast, But yeah, I don't remember. I'd like to get a copy of that. I'm actually going to be setting up my cassette player. If somebody out there is going to have to give me a copy.
I'll bet you the only way you'll find a copy, I'll bet you somebody in Europe, those metal elitists, those tape collectors,
Absolutely.
You'll be surprised when you go out on tour. Look what I have, and you're like, what the hell? Where'd you get that?
I have a guy right now in France on my Facebook page, and he's been asking for about a year for this specific Forbidden shirt that has 2 snakes on it. And it's red, but a black t-shirt. So I said, I think I have one. Let me look for it. And he's like, I'll give you 400 for it right now. And I'm like, well, let me look for it, see if I still have it. Because I saved a lot of my tour shirts.
Nice.
Just collected them, even the Testament ones, Forbidden ones. And so I found it And I sent him a picture. He's like, "I'll give you 500 right now for it." I'm like, "Wow, what? I get it. I'm not sure I want to part with it. Not that I'm gonna ever wear a size medium again, but
Yeah. Should part with it, man. There's someone who will be happy to wear it, man.
exactly." So he wants to add it to his collection. So I'll probably, throw it his way. But
Yeah, just say, hey, my Venmo and PayPal account. Here it is, dude. I'll send
it's
it off when
crazy how Europeans, they really collect their music. They as well as I do, they love music way, just a lot.
Dude, it's a trip. I mean, you do have your little pockets of people in the US that do collect and all that, but Europe it's way insane. You get out there, man, they'll just have like, dude, reissues and like, oh, I got this because you have 2 copies. Yeah, but this one has a misspelled name on it. Like you know how they do that stuff. You know what I mean? It's insane.
No doubt, no doubt. I'm seeing pictures pop up right now of fans from that tour that we did a tour with. Was it? I'm drawing a blank here. They did Surf Nicaragua.
Sacred Reich.
Sacred Reich. So we did. That was the tour we did in Europe, and somebody posted a picture with us, Forbidden, hanging out with all these guys like out in the. It seems like the wilderness because it's all trees, and I'm like, "Am I in? I am in there. What the heck? I don't remember that." And I was like, "Wow." It comes out 30 something years later.
Yeah, and everyone, this was pre-internet. Who knew who was taking that picture?
No doubt, dude. That's what's crazy. Yeah,
it is crazy, dude. Did you know? I mean, till this day, Forbidden Evil is renowned to be one of the classic thrash albums of all time. Did you know that going in?
No. I think at that point I was just excited to get my songs rolling, my ideas, I should say, not really songs because I didn't write the lyrics or anything like that. Yeah. And of course you have the other guys that did the foundation structuring and stuff, but my riffs made it to, majority of those songs, Feel No Pain, Off the Edge, probably half that, plus helped write a couple of Twisted Into Form too off that. But no, at that point I was thinking we're missing something, that I wanted to do more. That Testament was big. I think I wanted to be more of that lead guitar player, not the duo guitar player. So it was kind of like I said, it was a push and pull thing, you know what I mean? And I think that's what I thought was going to make it. So I kind of like just figured, well, this is a good way to get myself going in the business, you know what I mean? So, but never thought this long, people would still trip on that record, man. And it was just so, everything happened so fast. It really did.
Yeah. So when you record that record, you had a good time recording that. Where did you guys record that record?
I think it was at Hyde Street in San Francisco. And that was interesting too, as well, because as a person who never really recorded a record, did a couple of demos, but meeting John Cunaverdi, who had just did the Surfing with the Alien and probably working on maybe was Surfing with the Alien or something. He was a guitar guy too. So I would come to him with all these questions on, well, how'd you get this tone? And how'd you get this delay to like really, sing in this part? And the clean tones, what is he using? I was so, and he's like, well, yeah, we just use this and I use this mic and blah, blah. And he's like, well, plug in really quick. Let's try, there was a lot of a learning point right there. And I think we really gelled, got along really well. You know what I mean? When a producer's into guitars and I'm into recording, it was just like, oh, here we go.
You weren't listening to no one. You're like, hey,
I wasn't listening to nobody. I was in heaven. I was like, oh, this is going to be fun.
John, producer, he wasn't really a thrash metal dude. He was doing Satriani and all that. Yeah. What did he think? You guys come in and, hey, this is our thing, and he's probably like, it's probably like Joe Satriani producing Eyes of Horror from Possessed. It's like, that's a trip. Like, because everyone was using Alex from Imperialis from the East Coast. Everyone was using him a lot, and
that's true.
So, what do you think of your style of music?
I think I think he dug, I don't know about the style of music, but I think he dug the guitar work on it. And really, he gave it a lot of attention on the tones, and was open to ideas as far as different lead tones and whatnot, and different ideas. Because it wasn't, nowadays when before you go in and record, you pretty much have everything figured out. We kind of knew what we were going to play where at that point. Okay, here's your solo section. I didn't go in there and know exactly what I was going to play.
You just
so
wailed, huh?
Yeah, just wailed, and he pointed it out, and would be like, well, if you did this right here, and produced that part of it, which was great. I knew that breakdown part was going to be there with the little harmony part.
Yeah.
And when it came, I think everybody was thinking that it was going to get scratched off the song. So I don't think anybody really learned it, or took the time to learn it. So I ended up having to record all the guitars, acoustic, electric, and the bass, because you can't just walk and go, all right, let me track my part. You got to work on that part because it's fast.
Yeah. That's fast, dude. I don't know what you were thinking, dude.
So I now that I think about it, I can only sit back and they were probably like, who the fuck is this guy? Fucking writes this part. Now everybody likes it. They want to keep that part in there. Now he's got to record everything on it,
But you know what? It's a good part, and it's there, and it's in the history books. I think so.
I think so. Yeah.
Now, Forbidden even fuck, dude, what the Forbidden Evil?
You want to say Forbidden, but you're talking Forbidden Evil.
The album comes out,
yes.
And you guys go on tour. Was Europe your first tour?
Europe was my first tour, but we had went to, what was it? To Philadelphia. We did the
Ultimate Revenge, right?
Ultimate Revenge.
Wow.
And so that was kind of like my first getaway from home, play outside, and played the Trocadero. And that was fun. But yeah, Europe was the first tour for me. And that was the last tour for me for that era. Until what was that, 89?
Probably 89. I think Twisted came out in 90, maybe.
Yeah,
I
so
could
89.
be wrong. I could be wrong.
And then I joined Testament in 92.
That's right. I mean, before I get into that, I mean, you leaving Forbidden. I've seen other interviews where it was how would you say it? It was a mutual thing, I believe. Okay, no. Well, anyways, do you think with two great guitar players, great lead players, do you think it's more of a clash of ego?
I don't know if it was a guitar thing, Ted. I think honestly, I was pretty comfortable with my guitar playing and my level of playing. And I think Craig was still kind of learning a lot. I think it was more of a power thing of well, you can't have power. This is my band now, because Rob had left. And I think he took on the duties to, it was his baby now. And I came in just blazing, guns blazing. And there was like, whoa, we're not going to be the next, Testament. We're not going to be the next Guitar Hero band. So we need to part ways quick. And if I remember right, what they called Tim Calvert when I was in Europe, when we were all in Europe, and they said, hey, start learning the songs. And I think that's how it went down. It wasn't mutual, but I could tell there was some resistance, like, stop this guy now
before he gets out of control,
He's
man.
gonna have solos on everything.
there's not gonna be any more riffs, dude.
Yeah.
The riffs are it's like the reverse, like it's all the riffs and some solos. Now it's gonna be all solos with little riffs.
Yeah. And you could tell the difference between the two records.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It was more, you could tell Tim and Craig really locked down and they worked out some stuff and actually wrote songs that have some depth to it. When it came out, I got it right away and I was like, fuck, this is good. This is really good. Tim was amazing. I would have liked to jam with Tim more often. His prowess, his phrasing was like out of this world.
He's a good player, man. I mean, he's a real, and you did get to jam with him at Thrash of the Titans.
I did.
And we'll get to that. Now, you joined Testament. with the referral from Alex Skolnick, right?
Yeah.
You're one of your favorite
Dude, imagine that.
dude.
Imagine that, dude. One of my idols, referring me to that. And getting a phone call, and from those guys on tour. I think they were in Washington or Canada. They were up north somewhere. And they're, hey, what's up, Glenn? This is Chuck and Eric. And I was like, hey, what's up? They're like, yeah, just wondering what you're up to. I got a band called Bizarro. I'm just getting things rolling, playing shows, like, well, wondering if you what you think about maybe joining Testament. And I was like, well, let me think about it. Okay, yeah.
Jesus, dude. Because Alex parted, and that must have been cool. Like your guitar heroes just saying, hey, this dude would be the one, man.
Yeah.
Out
of so many, dude. I mean, Jakey Lee, Brad Gillis, some other shredder guitar. I think, oh man, there was maybe it was Mark McGee or somebody that I was like, what are you guys doing? What, those are freaking amazing guitar players.
They asked those dudes?
Yeah.
Jakey Lee.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I was like, what the heck I was like, yeah, but I think they knew they wanted someone from the Bay Area who had that thrash background. Forbidden played with Testament.
Of course.
We did some shows and I was always in awe. Back then I was still a kid and they're rolling in with all their Marshall stacks and 3 high.
Like Judas Priest screaming for vengeance tour stacks.
They had the ramps that went up to the drums.
Yeah. Dude, you were like, oh man, that's it.
Yeah.
I'm there. Now you came for the Demonic Cycle. Were you there for the beginning of the writing process for Demonic?
Well, I came in 92 when it was what was it? The Ritual.
Oh, okay.
Alex left to go pursue his jazz thing. They said, start learning these songs. And every day they would call me and be like, okay, well, scratch that song, put this song in there. Okay, add these 2 songs. So I ended up about 17 songs to try out, but I already knew most of them because I was actually, when their album came out, I learned it just because of solos, And so when they said come in, I came in and I just handled my business. I was like, all right, what's the next one?
You came in like a pimp, huh?
Dude, I did. It was remember Jackson Street in Oakland?
The old Jackson.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's where it was at. So, and Alex came in and they said, well, we want to make sure you know all the parts. So Alex if you have any questions. So played a couple songs and then Alex, he's got it. He's already knows the songs. So
Alex pulled a hocus pocus and left without saying anything. And he's like, where'd he go? He goes, man.
Alex has left the building.
He's left the building, literally. Was it, man? I mean, I thought that's really cool, man. It's like
it was a whirlwind, Ted. Just like how fast Forbidden got signed with that demo.
Yeah.
It was that fast joining Testament and going on tour like right away. And this is back when Louis Clementi was in the band. So I think we did Mexico, Hawaii, came back and started the tour, and then Louis left. And that's when we had to get, what is this? Perry Strickland, Paul Bostaff to come and fill in and all that stuff. So yeah, I did a lot of touring with Testament throughout the 92s up until Low when we were writing Low. And then
I didn't know all that stuff with, like Louis left and you had to get Perry Strickland and all that. This was pre-internet where no one knew. It was all inner circle. Like, oh, let's get so-and-so. No one knew. You guys were off touring. There's no photos of like, look, dude, it's Perry Strickland on drums. You know what I mean? That's insane, dude.
That is crazy. And if I want to say we played a home show because, we started in LA. That's when Louis left. So we had our drum tech play some of the songs, and then that's all we could do. And then we called Perry Strickland, or they called Perry Strickland. He started learning the songs. Then like 2 days later, we played, was it the Warfield? It might've been the Warfield, dude. So Ben and Perry split the drum duty and played the set. So, and then meanwhile, Paul Bostaff was learning the songs, but he was, I think if I remember right, he was already in Slayer at that point. So it was So everything's so fast, dude. So
Yeah.
fast.
But you had, two great bands. I mean,
I
having to
know.
fill in for,
I
having to
know.
be in Testament and to fill in for one of the, the greatest guitar player in
I've been
fashion.
lucky, dude. So
No,
blessed.
dude.
So blessed.
And here you are today, dude. That's awesome. Hey, you know what? Some guy named Jake Gentile, I believe that's his name.
Yeah.
He said, speaking from personal experience, Glenn is the hardest working, most passionate guitarist and thrives in being prepared for anything he loves doing. Fucking master.
It's true. That's true. I work Jake pretty hard. He's my drummer.
Okay.
And you've got to see it too, Ted. When a band is rolling and you're on tour, you've got when it happens, you got your tour manager, the lighting, everything is just professional, you
Yeah.
know. So I got a taste of that. And so I try to redo that with what I'm doing. So that way it's not so stressful and chaotic, and I want it to look good and the whole thing. So yeah, it's having that under my belt is pretty big shoes to have to, keep up, I should say.
Yeah. So
So
you left Testament. Was it that on your own accord, or you just wanted to do your
a
own
little
stuff?
bit of both. I think a
Okay.
little bit of both. I know for a fact that the record label was at that point, I think Testament got dropped
Okay.
from Megaforce Atlantic, and they were in between, and they were talking to some guy, I can't remember his name, Stephen Carrazzi, I forget. And somebody at the record label said, well, what would really help you guys is if you get James Murphy. He's looking for a band, and he's got a name for himself already, so that might help boost your guys' thing. And so we had that meeting, and I was kind of feeling it. I was writing riffs, sending it to him. This time I'm demoing them on a 4-track, getting nothing back. I'd get like, oh, dude, that sounds killer. Let me, make me a copy of that. All right, here you go. And nothing would ever happen of it. But then I started hearing little bits and pieces of them coming out in the songs. And so that's when I was like, I think I need to I'm just now starting to write songs. I think it's time to, start writing my own stuff. So I did. I kept the stuff and I was writing on the side. And later on, when that time came, when they said about James Murphy, the label
Yeah.
wants James Murphy, I was like, okay, perfect timing, because I'm going to start this other band called Damage at that point. It was with my brother and some friends, and it just moved on forward.
You always kept going, which I think is really cool, because some people, when they drop off, they just drop off. But
Yeah.
you still love to play.
Oh,
You still love to, regardless, you just want to jam. I mean, you had your projects of Bizarro, LD 5050, Damage for one. You've done some
yeah.
guest solos for a lot of stuff. So you're always there. But I think you deserve bigger, in my opinion.
Thank you. Thank you.
I mean, the stuff that you do, you should be in. You should have been in Megadeth. Speaking of, you tried out for Megadeth. Tell us about that, Glen
No,
Alvelais.
no. No, that was very interesting. That was
What era?
probably it was probably about 89. It was about 1990.
Wow.
So Peace Cells was already out, and I think the second, maybe it was just Peace Cells. I forget.
No. P-Cells, and they had So Far So Good So What. This must have been like either before or after Rust in Peace. 90.
Yeah, actually, you're right, because they ended up getting Jeff Young. They got
Jeff Young was for So Far So Good So What. That's their third album.
So maybe I was learning his riffs then.
Okay.
Yeah, because I had a hard time. So
how'd you get that audition?
I heard about it, and I called somebody that happened to know who their manager was. I got the phone number, and then they scheduled me to come out a certain time. So I drove out there with my Marshall cabinet, my Marshall head. I had a Jubilee head and a freaking Tube Screamer distortion. So I walk in, load up, and they've got racks of shit, Rocktron, all this nice gear. And
you felt like you had a practice amp compared to what
I felt like it was. I had to turn it up so loud that it was feeding back. And at one point, Dave looks at his tech. He's like, "Hey, help him out." So he comes over and he's trying to tweak it, and I'm playing Dave's solos, because I couldn't tell whose was who. So I never seen videos of them, you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
Megadeth, I've heard the songs, I've seen the cassettes laying around, but I didn't know whose solo was what. And I remember actually trying to call them and ask, hey, who does this solo right here? And they're like, dude, you got to figure it out, man. You got to, that's up to you. And I was like, shit. So about halfway through a song, Dave goes, hey, thanks for coming down, man. I was
Really?
like, oh, goodbye.
At least
But
you tried out. You know, you got to
yeah,
check it out. You know what I
Nick
mean?
Menza was really, he was new at that point.
Okay.
And before we got to play, he was in there. So, hey, what's up, dude, man? Oh, you're from Forbidden, right? Or Forbidden Evil. He's like, dude, love that band, you know? And so he was all there and excited and ready to jam. He's like, dude, I can't wait to jam with you, man. It's going to be cool, you know? And after that, they pulled in some LA guitar players that had the, you know, the tight pants, the LA look at that point, you know?
Yeah.
And I think Marty got the gig
Yeah.
soon after that. So
Yeah. Dave's probably there like, you're from the Bay Area. I have like bad memories from that place. So
I
hang
sucked
you.
though. I really choked it because when I started soloing over his part,
Yeah.
I was like, oh shit, I don't know the rhythm under
Oh.
his part. So I was like, total disaster. Feeding back the whole time too.
Hey, but it makes for good memories.
Yeah.
Makes for good memories.
I
Now,
got another good memory to share with you.
please do, Glenn.
Right. It was probably 95 after Jim Martin left the band for Faith No More.
Okay, you left Faith No More.
I did they sent me a 4-song demo and I 4-tracked it and sent them the guitar work for that. And I think it was Angel Dust was the record. So I have this cassette and I still have it. And it's basically drums, bass, and keyboard, no vocals. So they said, just go wild with it. So I went wild with it.
How
Heavy
wild did you
guitar,
get with it?
I went pretty heavy, dude. I went heavy guitar parts, solo parts on it, harmonies on it, clean parts, and the bass player wrote me back. He's like, got your CD or your demo tape, man. He says, great stuff, but a little bit too heavy for Faith No More.
Damn, but at least you got asked though.
Oh
You know what
yeah,
I mean?
it was fun. It was fun. I had a great time.
Hey, that's my dog. Hey, hush. Anyways, yeah. You know how dogs are, bro.
Yeah.
You know,
I
dude,
have to lock the door.
I want to jump to Tenet. How did Tenet come about? That's the super group with you, Zetro, Byron Stroud, Gene Hoglan, and Jed Simon, which I love. Jed.
Absolutely.
Jed's
like
great player. Great player.
Great player, great person. Testament, we toured probably 95-ish and maybe even 98. And we had Strapping the Lad opening up and they were traveling in a van. So I remember just like, well, fuck, man, those guys are just killing it every night. Killing it, you know, and growing momentum. I mean, Devin alone watching him is freaking amazing every night. But I got to hang out with Jed and his tone and his stage presence and his coolness. You know, we became very good friends and said, yeah, someday, you know, we should jam, dude. So the time came. He actually put together some songs that he'd been writing in the past, some live songs that, you know, he finally wanted to get out there and asked if I would do solos for it. And I was like, absolutely. Now, at this point in 2006, 2007, I'm recording on a computer now, so I'm able to track everything, my stuff here.
You upgraded from tape to computer.
I did, dude. I went from what was it, 8-track to some Zoom digital recorder, and then finally up to computer.
Nice.
And so tracked it that way, and then the original way was Jed was singing, and he's got a great voice. It sounded kind of to me like witchery. Just his voice is really awesome. I loved it, but he wasn't feeling comfortable with it. And I can't remember. I think somebody at the label might have hinted about possibly finding a singer or something. And then he gave up. He's like, yeah, we're just gonna get into the singer. But I was like, oh, I love your voice. You should do it. And he's like, well, I'm thinking maybe asking Zetro. I'm like, oh, yeah, fuck, why not? You know. And so got Zetro to do it. He flew in. And Zetro nailed it in like a day or two, just hammered through it. And then the album came out, the artwork came out, and I was so happy with that. In fact, I think that was the beginning for me of playing Halo. And then there's a song on there called Being in Nothingness. I actually took the theme of Halo and put it in solo.
Wow. Took a theme from the video game, huh?
Yeah, I'm still a Halo fan. I play every night. So,
dude, what is up with shredders and video games, man? What is that combination, man? Do you hear like weird noises and go, I gotta figure that out? Because I know a shredder dude. He figured out video games like Pac-Man and all that weird noise. Is it the sound that you go, whoa, that sounds cool? I'm gonna learn it.
No, it's nothing audio wise. It's just I've been playing Halo 1 or Halo since Halo 1, and we're on Halo 5. So I think it was, oh man, you're talking 2000, wow, 2001 or something like that. So I've been playing just that game. I don't play any other games for some reason. It's kind of weird, but I think it's the going online with a team of 4 and you play 4 other people from around the world. And it's just you get this group of friends that you're playing every night. And they're like, I have friends in Canada that we play every night, New York, Florida, Texas. So I just threw that homage in there to kind of like, it just seemed right.
A tribute to the game I love.
Yeah, a tribute to it. And his riff actually was kind of like the background to it. And so it just fit perfect. And so a lot of people don't know that, but if you're a Halo person, you'd be like, you took that from Halo.
Now they're gonna go listen to it. Now Tenet released an album, but you didn't tour. So if you want to tell people, I mean, not a lot of people heard of Tenet.
Yeah.
What I mean? So everyone watching, I've heard some of it long time ago when it first came out. Like I got an MP3 from Zet or something. Yeah. I thought it was really cool, man. There was some good playing on that one, crushing as hell.
Yeah, crushing. Jed is the man, dude.
Could people still get that or stream it anywhere?
I don't think so. I think Century Media might have it on their website somewhere. You can ask for it or pre-order or something. I just recently got my album of that Zetra was sitting on for a couple of years. We got asked to do a tour after the record to support it. Yeah. And Century Media was putting out like 4 of their bands to go tour. And we did the math and everything, and we figured out that they could only pay the band like $600 a night. And that wasn't going to pay for gas, food, hotel, and a van. That wasn't going to pay for it. So we would literally have to sell a ton of merch or put out our own money. And then, so it just didn't make sense to go out and do that. And, and nobody really wanted to ask Zetro to go from a tour bus to a van.
So I can see that,
so
I like tour buses myself too.
It's kind of hard to go backwards, especially when you do it for a long time. But and it just didn't make sense. So I think they got kind of burnt on, well, you guys don't want to go out and play and support the album, then we don't need to do another record. And so kind of just got dropped, and I was like, damn it, it would have been so good. But in talking to Jed, he's got some more riffs. We're talking about doing it again, but the timing's got to be right with him. He has his own studio built now. He's just got to make it happen. But with everything that's going on, it's like, well, you got to be careful when you time this release and everything. So
with the state of the
hoping,
world,
my fingers are crossed. Every time I talk to him, I'm like, come on, dude, when are we gonna do this?
And you're in a different spot now. I mean, the landscape has changed many years after. You could do a record and release it yourself. And see what happens. And if you want to go tour, you could pick and choose. You're not in a hurry, really. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no doubt.
Let's talk about the Forbidden reunion in 2008. Like, of course, after Thrash and Titans, nothing has really happened with you guys, but all of a sudden you guys started touring. Like, how did it come together with you back in the fold?
That point, I think, I forget who was the person that somebody was responsible for hooking us back up. And we had to have a meeting, all of us in the same room, to kind of go over things and figure out what happened, how can we make this happen, and we definitely want to do this all for the fans. This is the whole thing. And so I had to air out some stuff that bothered me, that things that were said in past interviews and stuff.
Yeah.
And so we kind of cleared the air a little bit and decided, all right, well, let's move forward. And I think this is without Paul. And we talked about getting Gene Hoglan in there and playing drums, because Gene is also good friends with Craig.
Yeah.
And so I think once we agreed to do this for the fans, it might have been like I think it was one of the festivals that brought up the idea, hey, we want to get Forbidden out there. And that's what sparked it. And that was my intention from the very beginning, day one of that, was to do this for the fans for as long as you can do it for.
Yeah.
We went out, did the European tour, and then all of a sudden, Nuclear Blast threw in our ears that we want to sign you and, do it. You won't have a heavy budget, but, you guys got to start somewhere.
Yeah.
And so I remember coming back, and then everything changed from that point on. Everything had to be, well, we got the label and we got to do this and blah, blah. And I was like, wait a minute, you guys, you really need to slow down here, because we haven't written songs together in 30 years, or whatever that was at that point. And so I was like, I don't know how this is going to work. Craig wasn't doing metal at that time. I think he had Spiral Arms. To come out all of a sudden and play another Forbidden Evil, CD, it better be damn good. It better be fast. It better be riffy. It better be raw. And it just I wasn't feeling that. You just can't write that overnight and just all of a sudden go, okay, let's start writing heavy, fast thrash. You got to build up to that. And
yeah, it takes time. I mean, playing the old catalog is a lot different. You go out there, yeah, cool. People want to hear this and that. Yeah. Then when you sit down, now that you're older and time has passed, you guys either grew apart, but trying to come together to have a common ground of writing Forbidden music.
Yeah.
It's a totally different thing.
I felt I was in the right frame of mind to write it. I really did, because I was just finishing up doing the Tenet stuff. So fast was already in my blood. But, I couldn't say the other guitar player was going to match that and write the same way. So I was like very hesitant about it. I was like, well, we should start writing first before we even attempt doing anything with the label. Maybe we should do a demo first and take it there. Like, well, this ship is sailing with or without you. We're moving forward. And I was like, well, happy for you. Go ahead and do it. I'm going to go ahead and bow out, because I don't know where that's going to go. And I respect the Forbidden legacy from the past. So I'm going to let you guys handle that part, because I don't want to mess it up. So I said, but I do have a guitar player that can do this. Steve Smythe learned all of your stuff on guitar and did the Clash of the Titans for us. So that's who you should call. He's a great guitar player, so that's who they ended up getting. So yeah, I graciously walked out, because I was more geared towards Tenet. That was the thing. I knew that one was gonna, hit until we found out about the label. But yeah, that was the end of that one for me. And then they went forward and wrote Alpha and Omega with
Omega Wave.
Yeah, Omega Wave, yeah, Alpha and Omega, yeah. With drummer, what is his name? Mark Hernandez.
Yeah. What do you think of that album?
I haven't heard it.
You haven't heard it?
I heard one song and I was like, it's okay.
All right. Just thought I'd ask.
Yeah.
I thought it's a good comeback. But usually, it having for Death Angel too. I mean, the Art of Dying, the first comeback record, it's great when they first came out, but you see the progression. It takes a while. More albums, the more you got to delve into it. Like you said, you can't just write thrash overnight. If you haven't in many years, you can't just sit there and go, I got this killer riff. Especially if you're doing other styles of music.
Yeah.
During that time, you know what I mean?
Correct.
But you still kept it heavy.
Oh yeah, always. It's in my blood. It's in my DNA. And I thank Forbidden for that, for bringing me into that picture. Because back then, like I said, I was the Guitar Hero guy. That's who I listened to. I wanted to learn how to burn everything and write solos and harmonize and.
you were just in that mind frame. I get it. Like back then, the Randy Rhoads and
Oh yeah,
Jakey Lee's, everyone wanted to just be in their bedroom learning everything.
absolutely,
And
absolutely,
but
and jazz stuff as well. I was, heavily influenced on Alan Holdsworth and other jazz players too. So it's a guitar thing. It really is a guitar thing. You know what I mean? For me at that point. But if it wasn't for Forbidden, I probably wouldn't have learned about thrash until later on.
yeah. Well, like I said, it's a good compliment. You're shredding with the Craig's rhythm skills and all that. It just compliments it, especially on that first album, man. It's
Yeah,
fucking
absolutely.
it's like, really, dude.
Yeah.
Do you guys had to go there with that technical shit, dude? That's really hard to play. You know what I mean? It's funny because Craig was doing that Bay Area Interthrational. We were supposed to play Dynamo, Death Angel, and Bay Area Interthrational, and a couple of my guys was gonna play in Bay Area Interthrational. Will Carroll was gonna play drums. Rob Cavastani was playing guitar. Craig asked me, "Hey man, why don't you do Thrice of Glass?" I go, "Just play the rhythms. We got someone to do Glen solos." I go, "I'm not playing that song, dude. That song is hard to play. When you listen to it, that's insane, dude." And Craig texted me back. He goes, "Yeah, that is a pretty hard song." I go, "I'm not touching it, dude."
And that one was when it came up in 2000. We were playing in the set. You're like, got to do a deep breath. You're like, here we go. Warm up the hand here because it's coming. And there are certain parts where my hand would just cramp up, but it's gotten better since then, replaying. In fact, I think it was around 2000, maybe 15, 16. I went in and tracked the drums for it, tracked the bass, and have the scratch guitars. And I let my singer sing on it from LD50, Clark Brown. He sang over that song, Through Eyes of Glass. And I wrote it and recorded it the same way I did way back in the day. So now it has the two solos, the melody kind of slower solo in the beginning of the song. I'll send you a copy of it so you can hear it.
Please, I want to hear it. I want to hear it, but I'm not. We shouldn't let the world hear it because they're gonna always compare it to the record.
Well, yeah, they got to wait till it's finished, until it's full mix. Right now, it's just in the rough draft. So, but Clark freaking nailed it, and so we've been waiting for him to fly back out, and sing it, the right way, not just on a 8-track recorder. But it came out, it was good. It's just the same tempo. I did it with the drum machine just so I can get the ideas rolling. And then we went in and tracked the drums. So
Glenn,
still doing it, still playing it.
I want to talk about this. You sent me this, your solo record. I got it right here. Peace and Chaos. You sent it to me. I did listen to it. It's a good record, dude. It's a lot of peaks and valleys for an instrumental record. Usually with instrumental records, it's blistering solos. There's some solos in there. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, I love solos.
But what I'm missing, it's like, I wish there was vocals on it because they're songs. They are songs.
I do too. I wish there was vocals on it. It's been hard to find a singer. Imagine. I mean, I've had Chuck Billy, Russ Anderson, Clark Brown, Zetro to work with singers. Now I got to find somebody for my project now. How to work? It's hard. It's hard to find singers right now.
It's hard to find singers that you want. I mean, there's a lot of singers out there that, I could scream and this and that, but for what you're looking for, it's hard. I mean, because we grew up on the Halfords and Dickinsons and all that, the singers with melody. I mean, come on, you had Russ Anderson.
Yeah, I know.
You use that dude could belt it out, so
absolutely.
That's a benchmark right there,
But that particular CD, in probably 2015, 16, I challenged myself to write a song a day, not a song a day, riffs a day. And I would do that, and then it'd go for like a couple weeks, and then I'd come back, and then I would put the riffs together, and then the songs just started flowing really fast for me. So I ended up with like 20-something songs, 21 songs. And so the challenge was I was going to release 2 CDs. The heavier version, just all heavy songs, balls out heavy. And then I was going to release the slower kind of rock, I don't know what you would call those, Guitar Hero, the softer stuff.
You mean the elevator version?
Yeah, exactly. The acoustic guitars,
Yeah.
that kind of stuff with
This is the elevator version
yeah.
to the 20th floor.
So I was like, well, it's gonna be kind of weird releasing two different CDs. People are not gonna understand it. Somebody's gonna buy the wrong one and be like, what the hell is this? So I said, well, why don't I just take half and half? And at that point, I was realizing people aren't really doing whole CDs, especially for somebody like me. I don't have a following. People know who I am, but I don't have a following waiting to buy my CDs. So I said, I'll just release a single every month for 7 months, and then I'll release the other 3 songs, and then I'll release the whole thing. So that's what you have there. So I just kind of combine the songs. So the next batch of songs are already written for the next CD. And I was gung ho. I was like, all right, let's go. We're gonna start playing some shows and start recording the next one. And it's like, you know what? I never did finish the Bizarro stuff. I need to get that done where I'm actually singing. And
Awesome.
That's what I'm working on right now. And it's a heavy groove, me singing, same band members, so I'm gonna try to get that out, but whenever we can play out live.
Yeah, whenever,
Yeah.
I mean? But Glenn, you are well known, in the thrash world. Like I said, very underrated player. You didn't get that. You were there with Forbidden. You had some time with Testament. I think you could have been up where Alex was and all the other greats. I think your guitar playing is awesome. And there's people who are watching, of course, who are fans, of your work. And if you want to let everyone know where to get the CD, please, I mean, I listened to it this week. I think it's great. People who dig guitar work instrumentals and dig your work will dig this CD a lot.
Thank you. What do you think of the tones on it?
It's heavy. You tuned down, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
C, I think it's C, drop C tuning.
Yeah. The guitar tones are good, man. It's total Bay Area tone, but the difference is I noticed it's tuned low. You get what I mean? But the tone itself, the guitar tones, you can tell, oh, that's total.
Dude, all Axe effects.
Oh man, why don't you use tube amps, bro? What's up with you?
I was using tube amps to power the speakers.
I mean, full. Come on, let's just go full preamp and tube amp. Come on, man.
Too many different patches for that, because I need more than just a rhythm, lead, and clean. I probably have about 5 different cleans, so many different solo tones. So this kind of helped it, but you'll be surprised when you hear it live. Watch what I'm gonna come out with. You're gonna be like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I can't wait to see it live. Dude, I can't wait to see you in the flesh.
I know, huh? It's been a long time.
Like I said, the last time I saw you was in 2008 in Waldrock in Holland.
Blew my mind when you told me about the Death Angel thing for Clash of the Titans.
Oh yeah, here's a story for everyone. I blew your mind, huh? Well, like I told you, Death Angel was the last one to confirm for Thrash of the Titans for that Chuck Billy benefit. And when I heard about it, Andy and Dan told me they ran into you at the Oakland Zoo and you told them about the show. And they were like, whoa, what's this show? And that's when everyone else in the band heard about it.
So crazy.
And I told you that story. You're like, oh, yeah, that's right, dude. I did run into him in the zoo. And you told them about Thrash Titans. They were like, what? And I think they were like surprised, like, this is going on? Because Death Angel was so out of, they weren't even being Death Angel. They had their own projects. Yeah. But I remember that story. You're like, when I told you about it the other day, you go, oh, that's right. I did run into him at the zoo. Look at that.
That's so crazy, man, that you knew that.
Dude, I have good memory at times. People will tell you. You know what I mean? Hence, I remembered Waldrock Festival in Holland.
Yeah, that's
2008,
true.
Yeah. Look at that, bro. Dude, where can people buy the CD? Dude, what is the place where people need to know all about Glen, dude?
Right.
Because, come on, man.
Right now, CD Baby has it. You can download it from all digital platforms. We're working on my website right now. I have a store, and we're just working out the shipping details. So we're going to actually start shipping that, plus all my CDs, the Bizarro first demo, LD50, 2 demos that we have for that. And then this new one, everything will be available for people that actually want the physical CDs. I'll mail them out on glenalvelais.com. So, but right now it's everywhere, digitally, your Apple Music, Amazon. So
Everyone, please get the CD, Glen Alvelais, Peace and Chaos. I have the physical thanks to Glenn.
I got to send you guys
good.
some more though. I want the rest of the band to have them.
Yeah, send it. It's good. And when I posted that I was having a stream with you, Phil Demo commented, "This new album's killer." I'm like, I know it is, man. So everyone, I know everyone's watching. Your fans of Forbidden and Testament. You'll like this CD, and also check out Tenet as well.
Yeah,
Tenet that went under the radar. People should hear about that one. Yeah, I mean,
I agree.
and I do want to say I do want to give a shout out to Jed Simon. That dude's an awesome dude.
Very awesome.
Riffmeister galore.
Big time,
yeah, that dude sick. Glenn, coming to a close at the end of my stream, I want to thank you again for coming. But before I close out, I always have this for my guests. I have 12 questions called the Dirty Dozen. I'm going to fire off 12 questions.
Okay.
And you're going to answer them. You ready?
Yep.
Mild or spicy?
Mild.
Dogs or cats?
Oh, dogs.
All right. A movie you could watch over and over again.
Billy Madison.
Oh, well, that's a new one. Your biggest pet peeve?
Ooh, liars.
I never heard that one. I could go with that one. What time does your alarm clock go off in the morning?
I don't have one.
Oh, good man. I'd love to be in your position, bro. Hey,
see the guitars? I
don't. There it is, your alarm clock.
Yeah.
There it is. A song you love to sing when you're all alone.
Kiss from a Rose by Seal.
Oh, that's a really good song.
Yeah.
It's catchy. All right. Your dream vacation.
Ooh, back to Cabo.
Cabo, huh? Yeah. I never been, but people say so much about it. Okay, Cabo.
Good. It was good.
One thing about you that probably annoys others.
Ooh.
Shredding.
All work. I'm all work. I'm like, come on, we got to work. We got to get these songs done. We got to rehearse them. We got to get them tight. All work.
Yeah, I can see that, but you need somebody like that. You know what I mean? You do need somebody like that. Hey, what's your favorite smell?
Favorite what?
Smell.
Yeah. Actually, the polish of my guitar. I have this old Gibson spray polish, and I've had it for years and years and years. Whenever I'm like, I just love the smell of polish, for the guitar.
Dude, that right there, that goes to show you are a guitar freak / nerd, dude.
I am.
Here's one: an instrument you wish you could play.
Banjo.
Got to be another string guitar, huh?
It just seems so hard to play with the open and the right hand picking.
Yeah.
It would just be trippy to go.
Well, when you do, you got to play the Beverly Hillbilly song.
Yeah, exactly.
On a scale of 1 to 5, how good of a dancer are you?
Ooh, my older breakdancer days, I
was
good. Back in the Logan High School days of breakdancing and Washington High School, bringing the cardboard to the high school and breakdancing in the hallways. But now, nah, man, you got to pull me out there.
1 to 5. Come on, give me a number.
3.
I'll take that. The last one. What did you have for breakfast this morning?
I had a ham sandwich in a hurry, just
in a hurry so you can go shred. You can shred faces and all that, dude.
I got to practice.
Dude, cut it out. Everyone, please. Glen Alvelais. He was Forbidden Testament, Tenet, LD 50/50, Bizarro. Man, Glenn, thanks for jumping on, dude. I had fun, man.
Thank you for having me, Ted. I've been watching your shows and I was really anxious to get on here and talk to you. This is fun,
dude. I had fun, and it's cool to get your perspective from Forbidden Evil record, the Testament and all that, and all the other stuff. I mean, we could go on and on, but let's just keep the fans waiting. So everyone, check it out.
Yeah,
Glen Alvelais on Apple, Spotify. He has a website. I mean, just support him, man. Great guitar player, underrated. And this is not the last you will hear of him. That's for sure.
Definitely not the last. And we need to go hang out. Let's go hang out at Phil's bar or something.
In Dublin?
Yeah.
I'm in, dude. I'm in. It's a halfway point.
Yeah, exactly.
Let me know, dude. I'm there. We'll shoot the shit.
Awesome, brother.
All right. Hang on while I close out. Everyone have a good Saturday. Thank you for joining Alive and Streaming. Glen Alvelais.
Thank you.
Everyone. We'll see you